Now, my next guests are here for the first TV interview since announcing that they're going to be expecting a baby. You'll know trans couple Hannah and Jake Graff because they're real friends of the show, and over the years, they've shared their story with us.
You've always known you were supposed to be Hannah?
Yes,
yeah.
from a very early age. It took me a while to realise it. I hate to use the word normal, but I just want to just move on with my life.
Congratulations. I see a sparkler.
Thank you, yes. We just got engaged.
My biggest concern when I started my transition, I think Hannah's as well, was never finding love, because I think trans people are made to feel quite ugly.
What about looking ahead to kids? Is that something you've discussed or you would like to do?
Yeah, we massively so.
Obviously, it's not going to be that easy for us, but I think it's, we wouldn't be happy without kids, and,
We will find a way.
And I remember the last time we were talking and you were saying you sort of felt that you were kind of ready for the next step, which has been parents.
We're just playing the waiting game of hoping someone will give us that ultimate gift.
I mean, who wouldn't want you as parents?
Well, fingers crossed that that's the case.
It'd be a very, very lucky baby. Oh. And 2 weeks ago, thanks to a surrogate, the pair welcomed their baby daughter, Millie. They are now a family and they join us now for the first TV interview. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, she's beautiful and so well behaved. And you're a family. You're a family. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Here she is. Oh, she's gorgeous. She's absolutely beautiful. This is so brilliant. After getting the ultimate makeover. Now, this is my drag alter ego, Morning Gloria, on the front of Attitude magazine. And it all came about after we had the stars of the telly show Drag SOS on the programme earlier on this year. The family Gorgeous, as they are known, because they are gorgeous, made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
We met you a few months ago.
Yes.
We gave you the name Morning Gloria.
Perfect.
And we decided that we were going to give you a drag makeover today.
So how's it all going to work out?
Each of the teams can be taking responsibility in making Morning Gloria become a reality.
All right, Lorraine, well, you've got your comfies on, so we need to get started.
Well, they've worked their magic. Are you ready, Lorraine?
I think so.
You ready? After 3, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! Oh my God, look at my hair. Oh, I'm going red. I'm going red.
Don't worry, nobody can see it. You've got so much makeup on.
That is absolutely brilliant. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Do you know what? That's not even it, Lorraine, because we've still got the Attitude front cover photo shoot.
We're super excited to have Lorraine on the Attitude front cover. She's a long-time ally of ours. She's always standing up for the community, and she's a former Attitude Award winner. Morning Gloria is incredible. I mean, look at her. She's almost quite scary in the way that she's transformed herself from lovely daytime Lorraine into this lady of the night who is the queen of daytime TV.
I'm having the most successful year in my 73rd year, so I've got a lot to be grateful for. I'm very, very lucky.
And a lot still to do. An awful lot still to do. I mean, like you said, the tour is going on. And then will that really be it?
That will be it for touring, absolutely. It will be... Schlepping is not what I want to do anymore. I've been, as I say, schlepping since I was 17 in the back of a van. And 10 years ago, when David said, well, it's obviously you're going to die on stage. We're going to be going around the world, just 2 gay guys, and having a great time, but not really with any purpose. And then, of course, everything turned when we had the children, and thank God it did, because I wouldn't have wanted that end to my life like that. But I like to think I keep myself, I do a radio show every week for Apple, and that keeps me in touch with the younger generation and new artists, and I love doing that, and I've befriended lots of new artists because of that radio show, and I get all my energy from the new.
Wow, that's
I get my
brilliant.
energy from the young. I know the old. I know the great old singers. They're in my brain. They're in my computer up there. But when I hear something like Sam Fender, and I think, God, he's amazing. Or Billie Eilish, who's 16 when she made her record. Or Lorde when she was 16. I think that's incredible. When you hear somebody new, Lewis Capaldi or someone like that, who's just starting out, it's really, it moves you. And I always try and make an effort of contacting those kids and having lunch with them and say, listen, if you ever need any advice, I've been around since, Julius Caesar, please give me a ring. Here's my email. because it's difficult sometimes.
And RuPaul figures hugely in this. You know, a lot of the drag queens that are in it have had a tough time.
Well, that's what it's about.
A really bad time.
Yeah, the show is not about boys dressing up like girls. The show is about heart and journeys and what it took for them to get to where they are and how they've been shunned and disowned and whatever their kind of hardship has been. And they've come full circle for their art. And it's the most unbelievable show with a heart of gold, bringing families together.
And some of the outfits are just, you know, remarkable.
Yeah.
And it's about people expressing themselves through what they're wearing and through how they're dancing and through how they're holding themselves and all of that. And a lot of these young boys are from parts of America where they do have a really bad time.
Oh, you better believe
not
it.
Not everybody's as enlightened as they are on the West Coast or the East Coast.
Correct.
In mid-America, it's very tough to be a gay person.
It absolutely is. In the South, it's not easy anywhere. Believe it or not, I think the UK is a little more forward-thinking, besides Northern Ireland, a little more forward-thinking with gay rights and equality. So we just have to keep fighting and keep pushing forward until we don't have to say gay marriage and can just say marriage.
You know I love the show.
Yes.
I adore the show. It makes me laugh hysterically. But do you know what? It makes me cry as well. It's got such heart.
Yeah.
It really has.
We deal with a lot of heavy subjects, but because they're drag queens, what happens is we're able to go back to the laughter, because that's been a survival technique we've all used for years. A lot of us have pain, but we've learned that laughter is the best cure.
And it is a competition, but you do see a lot, especially like older queens, helping the young ones.
Yeah.
And that's lovely to see that in a competition. You know, it's great to see that.
Especially a competition, you know, but it's funny, again, you know, a lot of gay boys whose families put them out or they're, you know, they were pushed to the side, find sanctuary with other people who have been in the same situation. So we're used to helping one another.
Which is lovely, and that comes across loud and clear. Did you think, all those years ago, that this would be, I mean, it's global now, it's huge to all over the world.
I knew that people would enjoy the show. I didn't know that it would last this long. I didn't know that it would become so global, because a lot of the humor we have, you know, it sort of flies under the radar. But young kids, like we're talking, you know, 13-year-olds who've never know this lingo, this way of speaking, they understand it perfectly and they love it, and it's a way for them to learn how to navigate their lives. Because so many of them have questions about not just their sexuality, but just about how to navigate a life where you think outside the box. And our show, the kids on our show, the contestants, have figured that out. And through their stories, the kids watching at home get a chance to apply those techniques to their own lives.
I mean, it is crazy. So, like, there's an amazing charity called All About Trans, and they work with just positive representations in the media of trans people. And they said to me, you know, we're doing interaction with Emmerdale. They're thinking about doing this storyline, and they're looking for some advice on positive reps. And they said, do you want to come? So I was like, yeah, sure.
Sure.
Cheeky day out, why not?
Absolutely.
And I went along, and the next thing, you know, they said, would you like to audition? And I was like, you know, being an actor, yeah, fantastic. Of course. And here I am.
Now, look, Ash, you are an actor.
Yeah.
Obviously, in this particular part, you're playing a trans actor. Of course you are, a trans character. But as an actor, I mean, this is a brilliant step on your career to play any other part.
Absolutely.
That's the thing, isn't it?
And that's the thing, and I think that the fact is, I mean, it's great that I've got a similar background story to the character, because I can bring something to that. But also, as an actor, what a fantastic first job, you know, to work on a soap like Emmerdale. It's just been amazing. And yeah, I just hope that it's a great message for people to show that, yeah, you might have a past, you might have a bit of a journey to be who you are, but also you can achieve your dreams and ambitions.
Well, exactly. I mean, I think there'll be a lot of people watching who maybe feel, because I mean, I don't know, because I've never been through the experience, obviously, but it must sometimes feel very lonely and confusing.
Oh, for sure.
But if they see someone like you in a soap and they see somebody like you and you think, oh, it's okay.
There's someone like me, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I hope.
And that's a brilliant thing for you to do. That's an amazing thing for you to do, and such a positive message to send out there.
Thank you very much. And that's what I hope, yeah, I mean, for me, I think that if anyone can take anything away from this, it is that, you know, we're all different, we've all got pasts, but hopefully, you know, you can still achieve your ambitions and go on to do lots of things in your lives.
But look, for you, you know, there you are, you're very young, you're a gay, black, ballet dancer in Texas.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, how hard was that? Because you would be a trailblazer.
It was very, very hard and very
bet.
scary, especially at that time. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago,
No,
but
it's
there's
not.
been such massive change in such a quick amount of time. But just growing up there and just not understanding what was happening, because there was no Pose, there was no Glee, there was no Call Me By Your Name or Love, Simon for me to watch on television. I just knew I was so different and I was terrible at basketball. And then all of a sudden I found theater and I found music and dance, and it was like I finally came to life and knew that I was just different and unique. And now I love the fact that I have a YouTube channel and I have millions of kids that can watch my videos. And when I meet them at meet and greets at shows, it just, sometimes I have to walk away from the meet and greet because I start crying because I'm listening to their stories of how me putting on a dress and heels occasionally has helped change their life.
No, but it's true. It really is. I mean, if you see someone, if you're growing up in that situation and you think you're the only one, and you're absolutely right. There's nobody out there. Whereas now, it's when I say easier, a little bit. We've still got a bit to go.
We have a long way to go, but it is much easier now. And it's so awesome that even now, I don't even know if I would have been able to come on shows like this 10 years ago.
Oh, you would. Oh, with me, oh yes.
Well, judging by your Attitude magazine shoot that I saw of you in drag looking amazing, I kind of believe that's true,
Oh, that
Lorraine.
was such good fun.
Yes.
This is probably very foolish of me. I feel as if we need to have a lip sync battle.
Oh, we do, Lorraine.
And I've got a feeling who's going to win.
I don't know. It's going to be you. It's going to be Morning Gloria.
Shall we try? Shall we try?
Yeah, let's do it.
Look,
All right.
Let me give you a mic.
Oh, wow.
There we are, so that we can pretend. Because I do this in my bathroom. Right, are we ready?
I do too, though.
Here we go.
Take it a Lorraine, Lorraine.
Okay, that's a box tick. It's like when we keep saying it'll be a big deal when it's not a big deal, when nobody goes on about it, I guess. But you two, really, you looked as if you were having an absolute ball.
Yeah.
Especially you, H. I mean, your wee face was just beaming.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the most brutal but brilliant experience of my life and my career. I'll never forget it.
No, it's good. It's really good. There was a lovely atmosphere as well, and I thought what was really good was everybody was very warm and very kind to Philip, because that was quite hard for him, I
Very
think.
much so, yeah.
And he's such a pro, and he just got on with it.
There was a lot of love in the room last night for everybody.
Definitely. And I think he really appreciated it. He really appreciated it. But he's so good. He just kind of went, thank you very much, and then he just goes on and presents the show for the next couple of hours.
Of course, because that's his job, right?
Exactly, it really is. So you're trailblazing, you two.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Because look, Dancing on Ice in Ireland, little Brian Dowling, who we remember from Big Brother, of course, he said, right, I'm going to dance with a chap.
He's a good friend of mine, and he said, well, he insisted after we did it, that he was either paired with a guy from the start or for the switch-up week, that he has a male partner.
Right.
And he did it. And we're both so proud of him.
No, it's really good.
It is having a ripple effect through all of television and entertainment.
And what's been really, really good, Matt, is the overwhelming support. You know, there's been a few carpers, but tiny.
Tiny.
Minuscule. Because basically, I think people, particularly in this country, are, despite what you sometimes hear, are incredibly tolerant. Absolutely. And they just want everybody to be happy. And just to have, it's this whole thing about just to be fair, you know, a level playing field, that's all we ask.
Yeah, and the thousands and thousands of messages that we've received, you know, through social media is just absolutely incredible. And I mean, old, young, all walks of life, for all over the world, really. And it
started so
cool.
many positive conversations, you know, for people that have LGBT people in their families or allies. I think it's just an incredible thing.
No, it really is. Caitlin, it's so good to see you. And this book, it's poignant, it's funny, it's sad, but above all, it's incredibly honest.
Well, thank you. You know what? It's funny you say it's funny. It is extraordinarily honest, the book. And I worked with my good buddy Buzz Bissinger, and the two of us spent 2 years talking, writing thousands of pages of memoirs. And I told Buzz, I said, Buzz, we have to show humor in this book. It can't be all serious and sad and tragedy and all that kind of stuff. There's also, you know, kind of the funny side. I mean, if you think of it, just the idea of, you know, Bruce Jenner, this great athlete, had to deal with these issues all his life. That in itself is funny. I mean, so let's keep the humor in it.
No, exactly, and that works incredibly well. And you talked about Bruce, and he was the golden boy in the 70s. He really was. So much so that Bruce was up for the part of Superman, I believe.
Yeah. You know, all through the book, I try to go about this journey and about what I went through. I mean, starting all the way, it's not like you wake up someday and then all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm trans, you know. This is a process that you have from when you're little. And I mean, I found my mother, snuck into my mother's closets, did all those types of things. So in the book, I try to talk about this long journey and all the things that I had to go through, you know. So it was quite a process. It's very therapeutic for yourself when you sit there for 2 years and kind of dissect every portion of your life and what you went through. It's actually a very good feeling, because there's nothing better than life than living with no secrets whatsoever. Open, honest with yourself.
He's told his parents that he was gay. His dad contemplated taking his own life, but now, 10 years on, well, his father's one of his biggest supporters. You can't really say the title of your book without going, yay!
Yay! That's the whole idea, you know, it's a celebration.
I know, this is such a brilliant book. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I wish it had been around 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah,
I really do.
I think it would have been illegal 20 or 30 years ago, but now it's time, it's okay. It's not only okay, it's great.
No, it's really good. It is. It's got such practical advice in here, Riyadh. It really has. You've done it in such a way with great humour,
yeah,
but with total common sense.
Absolutely. We wanted it to be as frank as possible. Look, at times, the war field that is being a young gay kid can be absolutely devastating, especially in school. You know, kids, when they're growing up, they can be really, really mean, and I know that firsthand.
Yeah.
But once you reach that moment of coming out, being accepted by a community, by your family, by your teachers, it's beautiful. The weight lifts and you finally see the world in colour.
Exactly, and you're the person that you always wear,
yeah,
but you're allowed to be that person.
Yeah.
Your mum knew, really, didn't she, when you told
I mean, how
your
could she not? Look at me.
Well, that's what I'm always amazed when parents say, oh, it was such a shock, and I think, really?
Yeah.
You know your kids, you know. With your dad, a little bit more difficult for him.
I think that they saw me just as a little fella, Riyadh, who liked to keep himself to himself and he liked a bit of nature. And that's because I was afraid of becoming too close and too open to other peers, because I knew they knew and they were, the bullying was there. So when he found out, it was difficult. He took about a week to fully start talking to me, and then a year to actually start loving me again.
Oh.
But we're so in love now as a family.
You are? He goes to Pride events with you.
Best friends with drag queens. You've had Panty here, haven't you? Panty Bliss.
Oh, Panty Bliss.
They go for pints together. It's just,
I love that.
So
I really
Dad
do.
has come full circle, and he campaigns, and he's even written a chapter in the book.
Has,
you know,
and it's lovely.
I said to them, you know, this book, I've written it for these young gay kids, but I need advice in there for the parents who just found out that information. They're really struggling to accept, and you, as a mom and dad who've done it, what can they do?
I've had an absolute ball here, so thank you.
Oh, darling, you're not getting off that easy. Yeah? You're going to have to sissy that walk. I mean, there's drag queens here, and I think you're going to look pretty good in a gown.
Now, you are going to go easy on me, aren't you?
Oh, darling, don't you worry. It only takes a little bit of makeup.
Yep.
And this.
Oh, Nelly.
And, of course, my girlfriends, Aggie Dune and Tempest du jour. Darling. Girls, I think we should name her Patty. Patio doors.
Thank you, ladies.
football's a very specific sport. I think it will change gradually over time. I think as we evolve as society, and I think as more people and create an environment where people can be themselves, I think football will change.
And there are lots of campaigns, aren't there? I mean, you're involved with a lot of campaigns within the game.
There's a lot of allies, people that aren't gay, that promote diversity and want people to be happy within themselves. Because when you are yourself, you do perform better.
Of course. And so why did you feel now then comfortable enough to, well, to express this part of your life with the rest of us?
Some family and friends have known for a while, and being promoted this season, I thought it was the right time. I think as a referee, when we officiate, we are neutral.
That's actually the irony of it all, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is the approach that you have to take. But unfortunately, referees will always get it in the neck anyway. Yeah. I don't even know why you can do this as a job. I've been to many a football game, as you can imagine, and I just think, oh, why would these guys want to do it?
It's a really interesting career to take.
Interesting is a good word for it.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's good fun as well. And it's a different part of the sport that people don't always see. I think for myself, people need to think about when they have a child in front of them and they're shouting homophobic abuse. Something like 80,000 young children attempt suicide every year because of their sexuality, and I think that's really sad. And so when you've got somebody shouting homophobic abuse, you've got to remember that that child potentially could be LGBT, you know, and they could be your grandson, your granddaughter, or your son or daughter. And I think that's what people have got to remember, that, you know, you're not just directing it at people that are on the field of play, there are people around you within the stands.
Biggins joins me now. It's so good to see you. And the thing that is so strange and still feels strange, you were 18. I was 7 years old. I was alive when you could get put in jail just for being gay.
I know, which was disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
Shameful.
And of course, what happened was there was so much underground deviant happenings going on, which was terrible. And then the police going in to lavatories where a lot of men met other men and pretending to be gay and then arresting these people. It was just ghastly what was
that happened recently to poor George Michael.
Oh, absolutely.
It still
I know,
went, you know,
I know.
It still went on.
But it was a purposely thing that the police did, which I thought was disgraceful. But, you know, when I was, I remember when I left school at 16 and a half years old, I went to Salisbury Rep. So I was very lucky.
But did you know that you were gay in yourself?
I think I did, but it wasn't sort of, you know, I was a very working class, middle class family, and it was never discussed.
Right.
In fact, I never discussed my sexuality, ever, with my parents.
Did you not?
Not to this day, but they've met my lovers, my partner, and
they know.
So they know, of course, but it was never, I never deemed it necessary.
We have embraced you. The UK have embraced you.
And I'm grateful for it, but I have to say, everybody here in the UK likes to drink, smoke, and have a good time. And if you then you can handle this. So
absolutely.
It's been amazing.
I think we get you.
I appreciate it. Have me, take me.
I loved watching you on Drag Race. Okay. And what I loved about it is you came across a little bit hard-boiled.
Yeah, like my face.
Yeah.
It is important to make it fun and make it exciting. And as a drag queen, I mean, as a performer, that's what I always say. It's about having fun. None of this is serious at all. I mean, look at me at 8 a.m. This is really nothing serious.
Brilliant. Now, you did say that you might quit drag when you're 40. So obviously there's a long time to go until you're 40.
I've got another 20 years.
Indeed. But you can't quit.
Well, originally, when it happened prior to Drag Race, I was considering at 40. I thought, you know what, it had been a good 20 years and that would have been fun.
Yeah.
But then things changed when I did Drag Race. You know, I've been able to travel the world. I get to be here with you.
I know, it's brilliant.
The elements have changed. So for that, I'm going, okay, I do appreciate this opportunity now, but I can't do it forever. You know, I can't. I mean, I'm going on 23 years now. I know you've got me beat. You're doing 35 years. That's amazing.
It's bonkers.
35 years of sitting here acting like you care what people are saying. You are good.
I am damn good.
You are very good.
I am damn good. Absolutely.
Get out there.
But when you had to come out to her, you had to tell her that you were gay, it wasn't an easy conversation, was it?
Absolutely. My mother was incredibly conservative.
Right.
She was Mormon. She worked in the military. We were raised in Texas. She was taught her entire life that being a gay person was wrong. You'd go to hell. There was something mentally wrong with you. You were a criminal. So when she found out I was gay, I didn't tell her.
Right.
I was too afraid to lose her. My mom was my foundation. We were each other's foundations. She raised us as a single parent. My little brother was 2. I was 6. My big brother was 10. We had to raise her as much as she was raising us. We needed each other. So although I'm this kid who went off to Hollywood and fought for gay rights, and she's this conservative, we always had to figure it out. We had to figure out where are the bridges between us. How do we get along? How do we have those tough conversations? How do we hear the things we don't necessarily want to hear from each other and still maintain a close and loving relationship? That's the reason I wrote the book, because I feel like people aren't doing that right now.
No, that's true. That's true, and that is remarkable, because you know, you could have painted this as if, oh, everything was fine and it was lovely, but it's so honest, and that's why I had to read the whole thing at one sitting. Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub, and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.